ilé aláyọ̀, ilé ológo, ibi ìsinmi ayérayé. Ẹ múra, ẹ múra, ẹ múra fún ilé ológo. Ẹ múra, ẹ múra, ẹ múra fún ilé aláyọ̀.
It is true that God inhabits the praises of his people. Many instances affirm this fact. In the Holy Scriptures, Ephesians chapter 5 verse 19 says, addressing one another in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing and making melody to the Lord with your heart. A classical reference is the chief musician, King David, having 150 chapters to his credit.
According to Wikipedia, a hymn is a type of song, usually religious, specifically written for the purpose of adoration or prayer. The word hymn derives from Greek, hymnos, which means a song of praise. A writer of hymn is known as a hymnist. The singing or composition of hymns is called hymnody. Collections of hymns are known as hymnals or hymn books. Hymns may or may not include instrumental accompanist. It should be simple and metrical in form, genuinely emotional, poetic and literary in style, spiritual in quality and in its ideas, so direct and so immediately apparent as to unify a congregation while rendering it.
In ancient and medieval times, string instruments such as the harp, lyre, and flute were used with psalms and hymns. Since there was a lack of music notation in early writings, the actual musical forms in the early church can only be an assumption. During the Middle Age, a rich hymnody was developed in the form of Gregorian chant or plain song which was sung in unison. Later, hymnody in the Western Church introduced 4-part vocal harmony as the norm, adopting major and minor key, and came to be led by the organ and choir.
A keen examination of Nigerian church history reveals that Reverend Henry Townsend was a missionary sent by the Anglican Church first to Badagry in 1842 and later to Abeokuta, with the mission to help provide the spiritual needs of freed slaves from Sierra Leone and also to administer Christian doctrines on the natives. Later, other Orthodox churches sprang up in Nigeria. The music used by these churches came directly from the native countries of their proprietors, and they struggled to train some Nigerian members who would help in the translation and transcriptions of these hymns. Hymn is widely adopted by churches. Celestial Church of Christ is not isolated.
The birth of Celestial Church of Christ in 1947 through Reverend Pastor Prophet S.B. Joshua brought in a new trend in church musicianship. Apart from the peculiarity of all the music incorporated in various services in Celestial Church of Christ, the hymns came directly from God through these unique people who were at one time children, lunatic on the verge of healing, prophets and prophetesses who did not understand Yoruba or English languages. Also, wizards who came to demonstrate demonic powers at revivals. The Holy Spirit qualifies these unique people for this liturgical service.
Hymn is the music of the church, strictly music of the church. Perhaps sometimes Bible words set into music for the worship of the Lord. Sometimes compositions, sacred compositions, or Bible words set into music. When we say young in music, it means style. Singing in the church must have its own young pattern. So, you see, when we say church, it means solemnization of everything. That is when we are talking about the church. So also, the music of the church must be solemn, must be meaningful to particular purpose that a particular music is being composed for.
As we have known that the church music is primarily liturgical music, and in every service of worship, great congregational singing plays a vital part. Singing of hymns is a Christian privilege given to every redeemed soul. Just as the scriptures admonish all believers to sing psalms and hymns and spiritual songs and making melody in your hearts to the Lord. As we sing with the Holy Spirit and actively participate in the service, the heart is attuned to God and His purposes for our lives through hymns of praise manifest.
According to the book of St. Matthew, chapter 26, verse 30, and when they had sung a hymn, they went out into the Mount of Olives. As you know, this refers to the great occasion of the institution of the Last Supper by our Lord Jesus Christ. This occasion drives home the efficacy of hymns in worship in Celestial Church of Christ.
Olódùmarè, ẹlẹ́dàá ọ̀run.
That was CCC hymn 377. That hymn was delivered by the Holy Spirit through Dora or Shofar, an 8-day-old baby. You heard that right. 8-day-old baby. Only the Spirit of God can do that. The most interesting part of this account is that another man of God, in person of Pa Goodwill Abiasi, was also singing the same song, the same time with Dora, but at different locations. Can you see the existence of God's power in our hymnals?
The church is a spiritual church. The church is self-sufficient, liturgy-wise, tenets-wise, and songs-wise. They gave us everything. And that is why we have to do it, we have to conduct the service the way it was given to us, service. And we have to sing the song the way they were given to us by the prophets and prophetesses. The songs were not composed. None of them was composed. They came from the prophets and prophetesses.
We have parishes like Ilefe, Benin City, like 3 parishes in Benin City, Wire Road, Airport Road. They normally brought their songs to Bada here, and they will collate it and teach us how to sing it. But the many songs that come from Akuko come from the wife of Bada, Alice Iyabode Bada. We have songs from the wife of Oshofa, Edith. That is 529. We have one from Mama Mata, the daughter of the man who wrote the name down for Oshofa, Celestia Eglise Christian Celeste. The woman gave us 330. That one, Eyi Jesu, Eyi Jesu. But the most and popular one that everybody knows, we sing about, comes from Woliolu, Mama Bada, and the other Barika Jemo. That is, we call it Barika Jemo. It's not his name, but he's the owner of K24. So all this, they just collision of songs. Especially we have 3 songs from Okitupa, but from the lunatic woman and man. They gave us 605. The old woman, I will not call his parish because he's still wife of Oluchaguton from Okitupa. So that one gave us 608 first. When we reached Ijebode, he gave us another 605. So like that, we collate everything down, but we have to thank Bada. If not him, nobody can remember any songs there. Even in 1967, when there was bombing around the casino, that man with Abba Oshofa go out there, and then they brought out songs, but only one chapter. That is in 6. Bohumi. Everybody, Babalawo, everybody entered the church. The 2 of them were outside. But later, he gave us the 2nd chapter. So for this 605, only one was given to us through the lunatic woman. But how it comes to 6 is through Bada. So we have to let everybody thank God for that one. I am myself, I give me 3 Musa. Because it's everything.
Luckily, when the songs were coming through our prophets and prophetesses here, they already had some songs from the angels that were given to them in Supreme Headquarters before the church was founded in Nigeria. So they brought some of the songs that formed the initial song that we use for the services. Then a lot of songs came out from here also. So then we combined them together to form many of the hymnals. Now, luckily, Papa Bada could quickly write a song into solfege form, like do, re, mi, fa, so. Ẹ̀sìn Olúwa nínú ìjọ mímọ́ yìí. Do, mi, so, so, la, so, mi, do, re, mi, re, do. Do, mi, so, mi, la, so, mi, do, re, mi, re, do. Do, re, do, la, so, mi, do. Mi, so, mi, re. Do, mi, so, mi, la, so, mi, do, re, mi, re, do. If not for that talent, in fact, we would have lost the melody of many of the songs. The melody is the body of the song. So that was why we were able to put all those songs down. Papa Jose had the same talent. Luckily, I had the same talent from when I was like this. My father was a choir at St. John's at Lagos for 50 years. So he used to come home to practice, to practice his tenor parts. Do, re, mi, fa, so. So I learned from him. So when I came here, I joined them in getting all the songs down in solfege form also. That was how we get the songs. But sadly, some of the songs are now adulterated. For example, we can have one song and they will have 4 different melodies, the body of the songs, during the service. As we are rejoicing today, when the songs were being given, I want you to realize something. There has been a seal about the tenets of the church, the liturgy, the order of service. So also the songs. There was a period when the Jesus Christ and the angels were giving us the songs. So after a while, they put a seal to it. But we have everything: songs for marriage, burial, home warming, name it. So during the service, the angels will touch the prophets and the prophetesses. They will go into trance and they will give them this song. They'll be singing the song and we will solfege them. We will put them down in solfege form. Then we will now teach the church. You see, those prophets, when they get out of the trance, they don't even know anything about the song. They themselves will have to sit down among the church, among the members of the church, to learn. And that showed that the songs were coming from the angels.
Yeah, especially in 773. 773. You know, we normally sing when we want to start practicing from Bada's house at Ebute there. We sang but she brought that song because she knows what is going to happen to the choir. That they will not be, they will think another thing they are. 773. I just put it from 2. That's what concerned choir.
You train bad. Even over the brand, like the doctor or mímọ́ sọ̀kalẹ̀ sáré wá, àwa ń ṣe ìrètí rẹ̀. Àwọn Olúwa kò wá àwọn agbára àmàtà wa yóò fi ṣẹ́gun. Ó kì í ṣe lè rí dáadáa, fún ṣẹ́rántí ilé rírẹ́ tó ṣe. Bàbá yẹn, màmá tó sìn, màmá Dèjì, wọ́n bẹ̀yàn wò ní tí a mọ̀ dáadáa. Sọ́nà bẹ́ẹ̀ gba ọ̀nà kan. Then ní Òkìtìpupa ní Ondo State náà, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ orin Celestial wá láti ibẹ̀. Ní Òkìtìpupa yẹn, like irú Jehovah Jésù Kristi, Michael mímọ́ ìjọ mímọ́ ẹ̀wájú rẹ̀ tẹ̀rù wá láti ṣàfẹ́rí ẹ̀mí mímọ́ ẹ̀wà òní ìbùkún àti ìgbéga máa ṣe wá. Bóyá master wa àgbà yẹn ẹ̀wọ̀n straight now is from old to back. Ìgbà tó ní yẹn wá látọ̀hún yẹn afiṣorin àkúlẹ̀kọ ní Mako ní 1968 nígbà yẹn Jehovah Jésù Kristi yẹn nísìn ìkọkùkọ náà kọ wọn ní Jehovah Jésù Kristi àyẹ̀mí ìmọ̀ ìjọ mímọ́ tẹ́lẹ̀ wá láti ṣàfẹ́rẹ́ ẹ̀mí mímọ́ láti ṣàfẹ́rí ẹ̀mí mímọ́ ẹ̀wà ìbùkún àti ìgbéga máa ṣe.
Your Mama Edith was living here before for Makoko. Even Mama Kola, Mama Edith, Mama Mata, but that one I don't think she can live Portofo now. So all of the wife of the shepherds, they are so good. They gave them the talent to bring us songs.
How great is our God in Celestia? Now could you ever imagine an 11-month-old girl whose parents could neither speak a word in Yoruba nor understand English language, talk less of the baby, Mary Zevunu, filled with Holy Spirit and rendered him 229 in Yoruba language while being backed by her mother.
Papa Oshofa told us, and I had it written down. He said, "I'm going to fi ìlù ṣe ẹ̀sìn." We are not supposed to be beating the drums to accompany the song during the service. Only when we start to collect collections, ogba, and ọpẹ́, maybe naming ceremony or harvest. You know why? I will tell you why. Ẹ̀sìn Olúwa nínú ìjọ mímọ́ yìí, ìjọ kan mímọ́ tí bàbá wa ọ̀run ni, kó Olúwa kó wa gbà àwa ẹlẹ́ṣẹ̀ là. Òsìká wà fi kún àwọn àyànfẹ́ rẹ̀. So why are you beating? Why are you accompanying such a song with drummings? Are you listening to the message? All our songs are messages. All our songs are messages. That is why Papa wants us to listen. So nowadays, we drum so much, we dance so much, we forget the message inside the songs. It's so sad. That is the difference between then and now. At that time, we used to be very spiritual. Dáríjì àwa ẹlẹ́ṣẹ̀, dáríjì. Tá bá fi bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí. So why are we beating drums? Ẹ̀mí mímọ́ sọ̀kalẹ̀ sáàrin wa. They are full. Ẹ̀mí mímọ́ wá sáàrin wa. Àwọn orin wọ̀nyẹn, ẹ listen sí bàbá paláṣẹ látọ̀run wa kí gbogbo just listen. Ẹ jẹ́ ká fọ́pẹ́ fún bàbá jẹ́. Each time tá bá ń kọ orin yẹn, omi máa dà ní ojú mi fún ayọ̀ because of the message inside. And I will even prefer táwọn akọrin yẹn bá standard wọ́n bá ń kọrin yẹn dáadáa. That's why man like akọrin àkọ́kọ́ one when if you listen to their service, you will feel the spirit. Makoko used to be like that, and they are going to be like that. They are going to be like that by the grace of God.
It's like when you have to render, and you start beating drums. If you want to beg for forgiveness of sin, must you dance? Then that father will say that this child is not only not serious, but gradually becoming mad.
I'm sure no one in his right sense will sing Dáríjì àwa ẹlẹ́ṣẹ̀, Dáríjì kọ́lẹ̀ wa Lucy nínú record. I don't think so. So probably they were singing other melodious songs, our spiritual songs. So and they can add their drums. But one thing I don't like is when I'm seeing Celestians singing our songs, drumming, and I'm looking at bata drums accompanying the song. That is way off. The drumming that they are even drumming right now is not good, and that is why the immoral dancing is evolving. It's the work of devil. The drumming is the work of devil, and the dancing is the work of devil. So at certain point we are going to correct that too. We correct it.
Please. In fact, the Takpako gbọ́dọ̀ wọ̀, Cleps gbọ́dọ̀ wọ̀, Dùrù ní African mix. Tó bá wá di àsìkò owó gbá, la máa lò ọpẹ́. Lẹ́yìn ìyẹn tó bá dẹ̀ tó fẹ́ parí ẹ̀sìn, máa tún stop ìlú. But èmi gbọ́ tí Papa Ọ̀ṣọ́fà sọ pé tó yẹ pé church tuntun tó bá wà ní area tó wọ́n ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ débẹ̀, wọ́n lè create awareness nípa sí pé wọ́n ń lu ìlú. Kì í ṣe jerí bóyá mọ̀ ṣé kò yé yín pé wọ́n á lu ìlú not much, kọ́ lè mọ̀ pé nǹkan kan báyìí ó wà níbí báyìí. So tó bá ti create awareness bóyá bíi 2-3 months, wọ́n á padà sí normal. Jerí bóyá mọ̀ ẹ̀sìn wa àwọn èèyàn ti mọ̀ ládùúgbò yìí pé irú ìjọba yìí kan ó wà ní àdúgbò wa nísìnyí. Wọ́n dẹ̀ padà sí normal àkínlù ìlú sí orin ẹ̀sìn sẹ̀lẹ̀, hymn sẹ̀lẹ̀ is not allowed.
Even before, we don't use guitar. It is Yemetu that started guitar. When we want to go and bury Baba Odeolola's for Baptist Church in Ogbomoso, we saw them with guitar. We saw organist Odeolola on piano, and they matched themselves up together with that Lincoln man, that Ghanaian. So when we get home, we told Bada that we are not playing here again with Paco until they go and buy us for baby there. They don't have the money. We are paying every Sunday for baby Benson. They bought us guitar, everything here. If not because of Yemetu, we still remember, because we call ourselves Woro 1, Woro 2, Ilu Angeli. When you want to call Ilu Angeli, Gebum Bum Bodi, Kolo Kolo Gebum Bum Bodi. But it is only Yemetu that retain their music till up to date. When you get to Yemetu, you will not even want to go home. You will just be here. Yin Olúwa, Yin Olúwa, Yin Olúwa, Yin Olúwa, Yin Olúwa, Yin Olúwa, Ìwọ ọkàn mi. But our own, we have gone to Malaika. We've gone to anywhere. God will come out. We leave you for 1 minute to show up when we are playing here. Bagbadi, bagbadi, bagbadi. That is all. Everything we do go. But now, if you want to know Makoko on harvest, come here. They shatter themselves. They will even put it in the bag. Anyway, God will repair us.
Could you ever believed a wizard turned prophet sang that powerful song after being arrested by the Holy Spirit 7 days on a coconut tree on his attempts to test the power of the Reverend Pastor founder during a revival session?
Kò sígbà tí a kọ hymns celestial tí ẹ̀mí ò sọ̀kalẹ̀. Ṣé kò yé yín? Orin àríyá wà lọ́tọ̀ láti jó sí. Kò sórin celestial tẹ́kọ̀ tí ẹ̀mí ò sọ̀kalẹ̀ nínú ẹ̀sìn. Ìyẹn tí ẹ bá mú kò ṣe ìṣe kó dìgbà tá bá lu ìlú kẹ́mi tó sọ̀kalẹ̀. Nígbà tí orin kan wà nínú hymns wa. Olúwa olùgbàlà jọ̀ọ́ gbà wá là. Àwa ẹni mímọ́ lọ́rùn mímọ́. Àwọn áńgẹ́lì ń yọ̀ pẹ̀lú wa. Ó ní àdúrà yọ̀. Ó tilẹ̀ pẹ́ olùgbàlà náà ló wá láti gbà wá ẹlẹ́ṣẹ̀. Dandan lolúwa mú sọ fún wa. wá dandan láti dá wa lóhùn. Àwa tó tàn fìtílà mímọ́ rẹ̀, àwọn fìtílà mímọ́ rẹ̀ jọ̀dá wa. Ẹ gbé orin yín sí òkè ẹ̀yìn. Nísìnyí wọ́n ti yí ọmọdé wọn sí fi gbé àní ẹ̀yìn ẹnu ọ̀nà. Nígbà tẹ́bi kéré táwa ní Makoko ìsìn, ẹ gbé orin yín sí òkè ẹ̀yìn lẹ́kùn ẹnu ọ̀nà. Kì á sì gbé yín sí òkè ẹ̀yìn lẹ́kùn ayérayé. Ọba ògo wọ inú ìwé. Só ti di dandan gẹ́gẹ́ bí Ọlọ́run ti fi fún wa ní Celestial, ó ṣe rọ́bà bọ́ ṣùgbọ́n ẹ̀yìn mọ́ yìí láti sọ̀kalẹ̀. Àwọn yìí sì wà pé òun ni èyí fi sọ̀kalẹ̀ fáà rẹ̀ tí wọ́n lẹ̀. Ṣé wọ́n tẹ̀lé ríṣìpáyà? Wọ́n ríṣìpáyà náà, àwọn ríṣìpáyà. Wọ́n ríṣìpáyà náà, wọ́n kò máa ṣe é kó bàràbàrà, ó pàrọ̀ ẹ̀mí sí wọn. Bọ́tà wá, Ọlọ́run ń bá wa sọ̀rọ̀. So nínú hymns wa lọ́lọ́run ti ń bá wa sọ̀rọ̀.
It is true that our hymns are very potent from the beginning to the end, with deep connections to all the various subdivisions of the hymn book.
In essence, how we often make use of them during each services matter a lot. Also, a selection of various hymns that suit the same service calls for proper attention and dedication.
Ẹ̀mí mi súnmọ́ ìṣàn omi ìyè, lánàá kí n lè wọ́dọ̀ rẹ̀, kèmí bá lè mú ọ. But now we are trying to do everything. We are so glad that Port Novo cooperated with us first time. But the second time, I don't know what is wrong. They just said we are just claiming to grab their song. We don't want to give them our own. So if the one that comes from Makoko, Nigeria as a whole, we taught them, and then they gave us 28 of their own. It's still remaining, but that 28 is a special song. When you sing that one, you will know. If I gave you one out of the hymns, you know, say God is all right for Port Novo there.
I'm singing a particular song, and someone like to sing like alto and tenor right there in the church. You will hear some people, they'll be singing what we call part. What we are singing is called soprano, right? Soprano, the body of the song. But some people, naturally, they sing alto. When they open their mouth to sing, they are singing in alto. Some people are mixing alto with tenor and bass. Now, such people, when they become shepherds and they post them to parishes, they teach the new members those songs, and they teach them the alto of the song. They will mix the alto and the tenor to the body of the song. That is where we start to have this variation. I will give you a very simple one. In Nigeria, I'm a Nigerian. I'm deep in CCC Nigeria, and I'm also known in Republic of Benin. I'm deep inside them. I'm one of their elders too, just like I'm an elder here. So I know of one simple song that we sing every day that is different from the way they sang it over there. Yaraman, Yaraman, Yaman, Yaraman, Waka lọ sọ́dọ̀ Olúwa, wàkàlọ́ sọ́dọ̀ Olúwa la máa ń kọ́ mi. It's what we sing here. Actually, that was not what they brought to us. This is what they brought to us. Yaramani, Yaraman, Yaraman, Yaman, Yaraman. We sing re, re, do here. But they are singing do, chi, do. Now, ta ló mú orin yẹn wá? Ta ló kọ́kọ́ kọ orin yẹn? Supreme Headquarters ló kọ́kọ́ omi tó ti mú orin wá. So báwo ló ṣe change? Àwọn orin yẹn pọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀. So tó jẹ́ pé àwa ti ń rí sí. So we are reviewing them now.
It's baffled because of the tonation. If I'm from Ekiti now, my own tonation will be different from Ijebu. For instance, we fought one song from 10 o'clock till 4 before we close. Hymn 312. I said that song was sung in 312. That one, we fought it for one day. So before Uncle came from America, that you are from Akoko, Edo. He's the one that stay here since 40-something years, doesn't leave Akoko. He will know better than you. I used to sing the song because I played it. Èmi àyìn Jésù lógo, but Bobo will sing it. Èmi àyìn, because of only one that bar will crush the line of every good boy deserve for dance music. When you see revised standard for Methodist, they are about 400. They reserve the rest, but they don't put reserve on their this thing. But when we know that our own is not even up to 300, so we put reserve because anytime they can bring songs. But when Baba died, we just go straight to his room. We open the pillow. We saw the reserve. So the one that they brought from Ilefe, we mark it. The one they brought from Ibadan, they mark it. The one they brought from Makoko, they mark it. So we travel a lot to go and ask. Emura, 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 Muile Ologo, Emura. Even the woman is still living.
Emura, Emura, Fole Ologo, Emura, 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 Fole Alayo, Ipe no Dukiko. Láti pàdé àwọn àyànfẹ́ rẹ̀ tó sì pẹ̀lú ìfẹ́ mímọ́. Emura, Emura, Emura fúnni olùkọ́. Emura, Emura, Emura fúnni aláyọ̀.
When you take a look at Roman Catholic hymn book, it's one all over the world. And it came out of the Vatican City. And they distributed it all over the world. So, it's the same thing with Celestial Church of Christ. The authority of dissemination of the song supposed to come from the Supreme Headquarters in Port Novo. However, because God shows prophets and prophetesses there, did you also know that the first parish in Ivory Coast was established before Makoko? And they had songs there brought from the angels that they gave to Supreme Headquarters. So they added their own and that of the Ivory Coast together, and that formed their initial hymn book. The hymn book that was brought here when they established church here. They had songs. But then, God used prophets and prophetesses here also to collect some songs. All those songs supposed to go back to Supreme Headquarters for collation, addition, and republishing. But instead, we were printing our own hymn books. Not even national headquarters. Individuals, elders, they print hymn books. I have an hymn book that was packaged by one of my colleagues over there in US. He said, Uncle, Supreme, I've just published a very nice selling hymn book. I said, oh yeah? So it's supposed to be selling for like $5. I gave him $20 for a fair effort. I thought, oh, well, it's good. So I bought one. So I kept it with me for about 2 months. Then I started reviewing it. Garbage. The sulfurs were wrong. So from 1 to 55, I just stopped. So we made a mistake. We should have one hymn book like the other churches. Why are we having different hymnals all over the world? It's supposed to be one. And that is why, luckily, those people at Supreme Headquarters, they just like them that, some of them were born when I already knew that place. So they grew up there. They are the ones that are the leaders of the choir management there. So they assured us that they will correct all those songs that were given to us here by the prophet and prophetesses, and they were brought to them and they were singing them differently. They said they will correct it. He said their own problem is, are we ready to accept correction when they bring their own to us? That is the problem. All these songs, we don't know anything about them in the past. I know them, some of them. So we gathered them and put them in that hymn book. So, and that is the start. We are going to combine everything together, and by the grace of God, in the next 1 year, we will be ready to go to the print. And when it is printed, it's going to be one. For us here in Benin, in Ivory Coast, in Ghana, all over the world, it's going to be one hymn book. It's going to be comprehensive. We are going to be singing the same tune, the same melody at the grace of God. When we came here this faithful Sunday, this Makoko Parish, this national headquarters. So I was sitting down there. I liked the way my fathers in Christ were drumming. It was Babako on the drums. It was a left-hander. Papa Jesse and Papa Joseph, 3 of them were sitting down right there. So I just walked up to them. There was no choir, just the drummers. No choir at that time. So I walked up to Baba Joseph and said, Daddy, I can beat that drum. He said, you can beat the drum? I said, yes. He stood up, he made me sit down, then I just get myself ready to receive the samba. It's a single samba. I put it right there and I started drumming. Oh my God. Papa Joseph was just dancing. You know why he was so happy? Because he found out that I could be his replacement so that he could now help Baba Bada. Because Baba Bada will be conducting the service. He will be playing the accordion. He will put the accordion down to read the psalm and pray. Then Gloria will put the accordion back. It was very, very difficult for him. So Papa Joseph was very happy, so that now he could learn how to play the organ or the accordion, so that Papa Bada can have a break. So that was so I took over from him. And I was among these elder brothers, the elder brothers. They loved me so much. Therefore, they made me to get into them. And at one time, we became like 7 of us. They call us Ajagu. 7 of us. JC, Baba Are came later. Baba Jose, Shosonya. Then Papa Yusuf. He used to live across the church. So because of the love he found in us, he converted from Islamic religion to Christianity. So he became one of us. I think Baba Woli I know, Baraka Jimo. We call him Baraka Jimo. So there are 7 of us, and they will come to us on the stage to help us, drum. But the 3 of us were the real drummers. Baba Cole, myself, and Jesse. So Papa Jose now is vamping on the organ. Vamping meaning he's trying to train himself how to play the organ so that Baba Bada can get relief. So the first time we done the choir came one was when Makoko reached 10 years. During the 10th year anniversary, it was during that arrangement for that celebration that we asked Papa Ashofa as the founder, that Papa, we should have a choir in Senesa. He said yes. He said, okay, if you have choir, describe to us, the cape, the gown or whatever. And he said, He said, cape. Then he showed us how to sew the cape, as you see it now. So then all the drummers, then we invited our mothers from the floor of the church. Mama Tosin Bada, Mama Alice Bada means her soul rest in peace. Mama Kashi Shobo Ali, she just came from Cherubim and Seraphim. So they joined us. Mama Ogunyemi, Mama Ibeji, Mama Lagoye, and my sister Moyo. Sorry, they were the female that we used to just set up a choir, the first choir ever. That was 1962. We used to be drummers, but when we were preparing for the 10th year anniversary, we asked Papa to describe to us the gown for the choir, for the choristers. And that's how he described that cape. I believe the Supreme Quarters have been wearing that cape before then. But I can say for sure that Makoko parish was the first parish to don the choir cape during the 10th year anniversary. We miss such opportunity. During the investiture ceremony for Baba Bada, I was back from overseas. I was doing I was back, I did my NYSC, and but the church forced me back into the choir. They said I have to rehandle the choir, so I obeyed. So that was why Baba Bada called me prior to that investiture ceremony. He said, I went to Kate, he said, Olu, I would not like to see a lot of choristers in the Mercy land, because there are going to be very many. They are going to occupy too much space. He said, is there any way we can have one fairly big choir? I said, yes. So I came back, I told my people here, and we held a meeting, and some of them knew some of the stars, choir masters or singers or instrumentalists around us in Lagos area here. So we sent for them. One of them is Biodun right there from Adeyeri, from Akari, Teju Osho, Ikeja 2, Fako 1. Anyway, we called them and we held a meeting and we asked them to supply us five choristers. And it should include some instrumentalists, guitarists. So we gather here every Friday night, right? From 10 to 5 in the morning. We practice together for the ceremony. And it was successful. We've been practicing like 2 months. Then I just remember, during our research, I just remembered that Wole Adetiro, he used to be guitarist. He used to be guitarist with Army Barracks, Ibadan, before I traveled for the first time in 1975. And I was the lead guitarist here. Baba Karibi was on the organ. So we use like very, very healthy rivalry. So he plays the lead, I play the lead. So I was the one that remembered him. And they said, oh, he has been to the university to study music or something like that. So I said, please, find him for him. It's supposed to be a national choir, something like that. So it was I that looked for him. So we sent Marie and someone through Olabanji. So they were from the same town and they both live in Ibadan. So that was why we sent message to Adetino and he came. And they came with some people and throughout. After that, we practiced together. And the ceremony was successful. We had a very large choir. So after the ceremony, Papa Bada became the Reverend Pastor. So he was touring churches, to thank them for their support. And it was for the first time he realized that he was hearing variances in the songs as he traveled from one parish to the other. Then he called me back again. He said, Olu, ọmọ mi, nígbà tí mo ń jáde káàkiri tí mo lọ ń dúpẹ́ when I was touring the parishes, I'm hearing songs that I can't believe it. I can't believe my ears. Then someone will sing it like this, someone will sing it like this. That was how he said, is there any way we can call the choirs back so that we can start teaching them the correct melody? And I said, okay, Daddy, I know a lot of the song, and some of us in Marco go to bed. It is better to hear from your horse's mouth. I will want you to sing all these songs from one. We will record it and we will teach them exactly. So by the time I traveled back again in 1992, we recorded 1 to like 150, 1 to 152 from Baba Bada. So then we will practice, we will teach the choirs. But when I left for a reason, I went back to US and I left the so-called central choir. By the way, Makoko is the body of the central choir. There is no choir that is called central choir because that is the wrong impression that is going all about. There is no standing choir. Makoko is the central choir. What they have was join ceremonial choir at that time, just for the ceremony. Then, when Bada told us to continue to teach, then what we're supposed to have established is a training unit, for the choirs, the choir masters and the ogunumas to come to Makoko and learn the correct melody. But after a while, they were doing it here, and something went wrong. The so-called central choir were banished from here, and that is why we are back to square one. Now we represent Baba Bada now. He was recording for us, right? He was giving us the song. But now we, his children, because he was training us here with the songs. And I'm glad Point is still here, and some of them still here, and I'm still alive by the grace of God. So that is why we have to regroup and start a training unit again. And that is when we finish all those songs, when we review all those songs, because we don't want to tell them this is the melody today, then tomorrow we find out that it was wrong again. No, we won't repeat the same mistake. We are not going to repeat the same mistake.
Yeah, but let me correct this impression. I did not start the better. We started it. We came together, some of us elders came together. The main reason the central choir is being put in place. We go about, we collect them, and go to churches, parishes, and we send coordinators to parishes or to districts to teach them the correct way by which hymns should be rendered in the church. Singing our hymns correctly, ensuring that at least we improve on the melody and write harmonies to melodies and establish it very well, and particularly make it a registered hymnal for the church. A registered hymnal for the church means establishing it properly with the Council of Church Hymns, World Council of Church Hymns, which we have done. Yes, because we are musicologists, myself and my other children are serious members of the Musicological Society of Nigeria. That is a branch of that body worldwide.
Writing is poetic structure, poetic rhyme, there's rhyme scheme, there's synopsis, all those kind of things. But they are not in our own hymns. Maybe if our hymns were written in English, maybe we would have had it. But that's the major difference. They have a poetic style, they have a style of writing, and we also have our style. We can say majority of our songs are very written. They have their own stories for writing. Though they would also argue that their songs are divine. Because if you read the stories of some hymns, you will just see that, okay, let me pick an example. A popular hymn, It Is Well With My Soul. It Is Well With My Soul, the story behind It Is Well With My Soul is that he's a lawyer, he lost everything, then told his wife and his 4 kids to leave, to go to the other side. And while they were on the sea, the ship capsized, his 4 daughters died, and his wife wrote a letter to him. She's the only one that is. So he took a boat to where they died, and he was just there, and he started to write. So they will also argue that, okay, he didn't just sit down and start saying, okay, I want to write a hymn, I want to write a hymn. But out of the grief of his mind, the inspiration to write came. There are several songs, there are other writers of them that were blind, and from there, from praying to God, the hymn comes to them. So they also argue that their songs are different, but there are still major differences between celestial hymns. I've been able to, there was a point where we were asked to sing in our vernacular, and I was able to sit down and look at some of their hymns in Yoruba. And so I've been able to do a scale, I've been able to weigh, and for me, I think celestial hymns are weightier than theirs in terms of the words, how they get to you, how they communicate, how they, though they also have, they have this use of words. You know that for them, there's a lot of educated people around here. And with the stories I've heard, it's not all like that in Celestial Church. So, looking at the lyrics of their lyrics, they are also able to communicate with you, especially with their team. But when you look at the words, Celestial hymns are weightier. Celestial hymns have this connect that they give you. I think we need a major structure when it comes to translating our Yoruba to English. We have our Yoruba hymns. We have them. They are already, there's nothing we can do. But we can do a lot translating them to English. The English that we have now is nothing to write home about. That's just true. But then, if you look at their hymns, okay, this Yoruba hymn I did in Hymnody was Any come back to Pharaoh. We have Emi Balek here. They have Emi Balek. Do you understand? They have that. So, if you look at the English, it's well structured, well put together, poetic style, everything is complete. But when they are coming to their vernacular, they don't look at that. They just translate it to fit to the language that is being translated. That's the same thing that's happening. So, I'm taking ourselves, we're doing ourselves the way it fits into our language. But when we are about to translate, we should make it. We should be able to put it together uniformly. Now, I think I can pick up a number of things and do a translation because I've learned. I've been able to learn to do that. So, looking at it, if I'm given the opportunity to, I think I would gladly do it because we have a lot. And it's not just, people need to know that it's not just about, okay, I think like my brother told me, he said, going to Hymnody is beyond me. Not because of me, it's because of what God wants to do in Celestial Church. So it's not just about picking the hymn and saying, right, worship, that Lord God. No. It's about looking at the context of the verse and then putting it down in a way that anybody who is not celestial will pick it from the sheet. Now let me use that same Emi Balek. Now, their English says, oh, for 1,000 tongues to sing my great Redeemer's praise. Yoruba says, Emi Balek Beruao Fiyi Olubala. If you listen to the English and the Yoruba, you understand that it's making the same sense, but it's not pick word for word. Fiyi Olubala means to praise, as in they could have just said, if I have 1,000 tongues to praise the Lord. They could have said that. But they said, oh, for 1,000 tongues to sing my great Redeemer's praise. At some point, they needed to add some words to make the notes of that line complete, or to be able to, you know, Yoruba, when it's Yoruba, when you say, it's already deep. But they needed to add great to the Redeemer for you to know that from that Yoruba is coming from, what's already. So they need to make it go really in English. Doing word for word cannot justify that. People need to understand. It's not a matter of, did they give us Ilano in Celestial Church? Word for word, you can translate it. No. Celestial Church, that is why, I can say that is why we are lacking behind. That is why, as Hymnody, you know, whenever they say, she's from Celestial Church of Christ, the first thing is, do you people sing hymns? Do you have a hymn book? Is it written in English or is it just Yoruba? Many times I don't eventually answer the question because what do I do? If they say we should bring Yoruba in, but let's bring our English that these people think that they can see and okay, we can't speak Yoruba. Let's read these English hymns to understand. They can't understand when we're doing word for word. They cannot see the depth of our song. A kind of song of that kind of song, how do you want to, you just write, come and live with us, our Father. How does he want to bring that depth that is in the Yoruba? That is what they should think when they are writing the English.
It is right evidence in this masterpiece that our Hymnody have performed wonders, and they still do till this very minute. But the question is, do we sing them correctly? Do we administer them to adore our God and invoke His Holy Spirit to descend, or adore our carnal minds? Is Celestial Church of Christ blessed only with spiritual hymns? What about our ingenious created songs? How many of them do we adore our services with? And how have we been able to transform veracity from older generations to younger ones? How much of documentation is being done?
For now, we will leave you with the excerpt from the book of Colossians chapter 3 verse 16, which says, "Let the word of Christ richly dwell within you, with all wisdom teaching and admonishing one another with psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing with thankfulness in your heart to God."
Nínú ìjọ mímọ́ wọn.